What's up, guys? Today we're going to look at the Amazon merch content policy update. We're going to compare it to the old one, try to see what changed, and try to make sense of it. So if you're ready, let's go. Quick reminder, I run a weekly print-on-demand giveaway you can enter for free using the link in the description. This week sponsored by Merch Titans Automation, Merch Ninja Research Tools, and All Sunsets Premium Sunset Graphics. 2 lucky winners will be selected. Also, I've got an Amazon merch mini course delivered to your inbox over 7 days. If you want to take advantage of that, there's a link in the description, as well as a link to my Amazon merch Facebook group. All right, let's look at the content policy. So I logged into merch today and notice this pop-up. Starting today, our policies are updated to clarify restrictions on content that promotes illegal activity, is sexually obscene, and is inflammatory. Please review your listings to ensure your products comply with these policies by February 8th, 2021. Okay, so I'm not sure what spurred them to update the content policy. I mean, I could guess, but either way, let's look at the old one real quick. Now, we don't need to read through the old content policy. I had to go back through one of my old YouTube videos. It's actually my Amazon merch course, so older video, and it's got the content policy before today, and then you'll notice it got updated and kind of simplified. I mean, that's the one consistent thing that I noticed across the board is they really condensed it. It's probably half as long as it used to be. So before they would split it into, 1.1 copyright, 1.2 trademark, 1.3 international law, and they got rid of the, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 stuff. So let's look at the new one. Illegal or infringing content. Content that does not comply with federal, state, or local laws in the geographies in which your listings are available. So that's implying that it'll be removed. Content incorporating intellectual property such as trademarks, copyrights, or the names or likeness of others that you do not have the right to use. So again, that is not really changing anything. I mean, that's always been the rules here. Also notice that they give us the links that we can use to go look up registered trademarks in various countries that we're allowed to sell in through Amazon merch. Also, I mean, to summarize this part, nothing really changed. We know better than to infringe on people's intellectual property. Also, I always recommend just look at what's selling, because oftentimes the algorithm will be incorrect in either letting you sell something or sometimes not letting you sell something. But either way, looking at what's on the marketplace is a good way. It's indicative of whether or not you'll be rejected. Let's just say that, because first and foremost, I know we want to avoid rejections to keep our accounts safe. So I always want to look at the marketplace and see what's listed and base my decisions on what's already there. All right, this is the old one for objectionable content. As you can see, it's a pretty long write-up, but the new content policy for Section 2, they have made it much simpler. So it is offensive or controversial content. So this is what is not allowed. Content that promotes, incites, or glorifies hatred, violence, racial, sexual, or religious intolerance, or promote organizations with such views. It's a little open-ended there, so I mean, you may want to go through an audit. We don't really know how strict this is really going to be until they actually start removing shirts. Content that graphically portrays violence or victims of violence. Content depicting children or characters resembling children in sexually suggestive manner. Youth-sized products that contain adult content, profanity, and or sexual references. We know you got to be extra careful with the youth checkbox. Anytime you check that, the content policy becomes stricter. Content related to human tragedies and natural disasters. Content using profanity to attack a group or individual. Content that promotes illegal activity, sexually obscene content, and inflammatory content. So yeah, I mean, in my mind, I'm like, man, how are they going to algorithmically police this? Because some of this stuff is, because sometimes what's illegal in one state in America is not illegal in another state. So, when they say, okay, you have to know the laws, if we go back 2 slides, the laws of where you're geographically selling, it's like, well, what if it's state law versus federal law, versus local law? So I don't know how they're going to police this stuff, but it certainly in my mind is raising some red flags. Fortunately for me, a lot of and I've been open about this on my YouTube channel, a lot of the listings I've made in the last 6 months since I got tiered up to tier 100,000 are just scaled up, very generic designs that I used AutomatePOD to create and then used Merch Titans automation to upload. So they're not really fringe any of the stuff that we just talked about at all. But you can notice here, just going back one slide, that they have really made a point of making this a lot simpler to read. You know, they went in such depth that they went specifically to 2.7 Nazism promotion, you know, and they got rid of that. All right, and then there's only one section left in the new policy. In the old one, there was actually 3, 4, and 5, but they have designs and descriptions. This is the old one. The new one, so they got rid of a lot of the references to like spelling or references to certain colors, for instance. Like you couldn't say gold, I think, and like neon. Actually, they say like texture material, including wood, metal, marble, sequin, glitter, leather, rubber. So I don't know if you still can't do that or not. I haven't uploaded to test that today, but you could see here they gave us examples of words you couldn't say, like neon, metallic, foil, rose gold, gold, and they got rid of all that. So this is the new consolidated section 3. It says you are not allowed to, other content not allowed, solicitations for customer reviews. Content giving the impression sales proceeds will be donated to other organizations or used for charity. Content that references product, fulfillment, or delivery attributes. Other content that might lead to a poor customer experience. See the guide to merch product quality for examples of content that's typically disappointing to customers. So that's probably, they probably moved the 3.3 right here that talks about all those things, where you may mislead a customer into thinking that the shirt's going to look a certain way when they get it. They probably moved all of those things to this guide to merch product quality. So that's it. It's a pretty short and straightforward, albeit very open-ended and open to interpretation content policy. And I didn't even, include the first paragraph that says essentially, this is not, I think they said this is not exhaustive. So everything that we just covered here in the new content policy is not necessarily the limitation of the scope. They still reserve the right to pull anybody's stuff down for any reason. So that's also worth mentioning. But they did get rid of like section 4, section 5. I guess you could say they rolled that up into section 3. So it's a little bit more straightforward now. And I just wanted to do a video about this. Until we've seen this live for a while, like I think they said we have until February 28th to get this fixed. But until we've seen this live for a while, we're not really going to know how much things really changed. Like you can see, please review your listings to ensure your products comply with these policies by February 8th, 2021. That's all I wanted to cover in this video, guys. Quick reminder, I have a full course outlining how I took my Amazon merch account from tier 10 to tier 100,000. If you want to check that out, there's a link in the description. And that's it. Thanks for watching till the end. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.